Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my podcast, Live Your Best Life Every Day. Today's topic is going to be about pain, a friend or a foe. I have the blessing to have a very special guest online today with us, Nadege Dadjo, all the way from South Africa, and she will be sharing her insight as well as intel and personal experience when it comes to pain, being a friend or a foe. Even better, she's going to be giving us tips on how to move forward whenever we face or experience pain in our lives at all levels. All right. So thank you very much, guys, for staying tuned up. Thank you for always being faithful to the channel. And of course, here we go. Hi, Nadege. How are you?
I'm fine in yourself, Stefan.
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. So without further delays, I would suggest if we can perhaps dive right into it. My first question to you would be, Nadege, when you hear the word pain, what's the first thing that comes in mind to you?
Oh, wow. Okay. I would like to greet everyone that will have to listen to the postcard. And I would like to really appreciate you for inviting me on your podcast. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
To come to the answer to your question, I will say when I hear the word pain, I have both an effect of like a pinch, and an excitement at the same time.
Wow, a pinch and excitement at the same time. Do you mind
Yes, that's
elaborating?
exactly how I feel.
Yeah. Do you mind elaborating a little further on that, the pinch and the excitement?
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, what I meant by a pinch and an excitement is for me when I hear pain or when I'm faced with pain, I feel like an ouch because it felt like this is another test of life. I feel like this is a time where I'm in an adversity camp. I feel like when you see an enemy facing you, but also, at the same time, I feel an excitement because I know that behind every emotion, there is a learning process, there is a growing process. That's what I meant.
Absolutely amazing, Nadege. Thank you for that answer. I personally like to think from a perspective, and I agree with what you said 100%. And to add on to that, I believe that us as human beings in general, we've tend to reduce pain to that feeling that we're trying to run away from, that one thing that we are trying to avoid or escape. Meanwhile, there is indeed a lot of things that we can learn from pain, and also,
That's right.
and I believe that pain, in terms of being a friend, pain can often be an indicator of life, because if you don't feel anything, then I doubt you are alive. Let's say, for example, when someone get into a car accident or something and then they get rushed to the hospital, the first thing that the doctor might ask them when they get there is, do you feel any pain here and there? And usually when you feel pain, it means that that body part is still working. But when you don't feel pain, it's alarming because it means that you might have lost your legs or that body part. So
That's right.
so in that, like, thinking about that, like, I feel like pain can be a bearer of good news as well. It can mean that you are alive. I mean, when a woman is about to give birth, there is a lot of pain, which is sign that she's about to give birth to something. She's about to do something new. Something is about to happen. So pain can be a sign that something is about to happen. And of course, it may not be all positive, and this is where I want us to dive in now. Nadege,
Okay.
in contrast to the good news that pain can come with, what do you think that pain can do in terms of negativity? Like, how do we have to be aware and draw the line between pain being a friend and a foe?
Okay. Just to add up to what, because you said a lot of things that I agree with.
Okay,
So just to add up to what you just said, I will tell you in brief. I will say, if you can feel it, or if you cannot feel it, then you are faking it.
That's lovely.
Because at the end of the day, you've got to feel it to make it.
Oh, yeah.
You have got to feel it to heal it.
Oof. Yes.
You have got to feel it to improve it.
Absolutely.
You have got to feel it to grow it.
Wow. That's well said. I love that.
Thank you.
So, tell me, Nadege, how do you relate to pain based on your personal experiences? What do you think has been the biggest impact of pain in your life, from a positive and a negative perspective?
Well, personally, I would say that, like everyone else, when I was still young, I would relate to pain as a foe. So I would see it like as an enemy. That's because at that point I was still immature about things.
Yeah.
But then growing up, I had to have a conversation with myself. And especially have a conversation with the emotion called pain.
Wow.
It was quite a dialogue though. It wasn't an argument. Because when you're having an argument with something or with somebody, it's as if you want to be right. But this time I had to have like a dialogue, a discussion with the person called pain.
That is amazing.
So having that conversation made me to realize that pain is not an enemy per se. It can be viewed as a challenge at times, but it's not an enemy. It's also a friend. It's also an ally. So how do I relate to pain? Now that I've become a better person, a more grown-up and a mature person, I relate to it as both a challenge and an ally.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And to anyone out there who is listening, guys, I hope you relate to this one way or the other, because this at the end of the day for you, this is for us, this just to get the topic out there, to get it popping and to get it engaged with. And Nadege, there's one more thing I would like to ask you, and it's this: if you had something to say, if you had something to say on a daily basis, how do you approach pain? And better yet, what advice would you give to anyone out there who is struggling on how to deal with pain? What advice would you give them?
Okay. I will say, let's not forget there is what is called an emotional life. Because pain at the end of the day is an emotion like any other emotion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. So the first thing is to acknowledge that we have what is called an emotional life. And like every other emotion, you have to process that emotion. And first, you need to get to know yourself around that emotion.
Wow.
And when you're beginning to get to discover what this emotion is around you, particularly, I'm emphasizing on the word particularly because it's different with each person.
Of course.
Yes. So we do not compare ourselves when it comes to emotions. We need to access an emotion in our own particular situation, because stories are different, lives are different, emotional lives can be different. So I would like to emphasize on the fact that we need to use both our heart and our brain when we are accessing an emotion. And in this case, your pain.
That is amazing.
So you need to use both your head and your heart. The problem sometimes is that what people do is they use their heart and they leave their head behind.
That's right.
So, yes, you need to be honest about that emotion called pain, but also you need to use what is called intelligence. So now to answer your question quickly, I want to remind us, I don't know, many people do not know this, but it's come through my researches and personal experience. We have 4 types of intelligence, my dears. We have IQ. That is intelligent quotient. Intelligent quotient is your measure of intelligence. How you can use your brain to solve problems or situations in your life.
Oh, yes.
We have E quotient. That is emotional quotient. That is your measure, your ability to use your emotion to connect with others and create relationships. Now, we also have what is called S quotient. S quotient is social quotient. This is your ability to network, to create relationships that will last longer, for a longer time, actually. But actually, in life, what we've been taught is that I quotient, which is intelligent quotient, is the most important one. So going to school is all we need. But what we did not realize, and what they did not intensify on, is that we need more of E quotient, which is emotional quotient and social quotient. If you can be high in emotional quotient and social quotient, at times you can actually win more in life than when you have a higher intelligent quotient. Then there's a four dimension. That is the biggest one. That's the one we almost don't talk about. It is called A quotient. AQ. Adversity quotient.
Oof.
This is the dimension where this is the measure, the ability to go through a tough situation and come out even a better person without being destroyed. So when it comes to pain, you have to apply all this quotient I'm talking to you about. It is important, we viewers, we listeners, or those that we call parents, they need to teach their kids and the people around them about all these different quotient and make them work on it, improve on them, balance them so that they can win in life and know how to manage and process their pain.
That's deep right there, Nadege. And I believe this calls for another call some other time, definitely, because that's something that you actually raise a lot of question there. And I believe that whoever is listening might have a lot to say about this. And of course, guys, to whoever is listening, do not hesitate to comment in the comment section. Do not hesitate to reach out to us via DMs on our different social media platforms. Nadege is available on different social media platforms as Nadege Dadjo. There is no way you will miss her. She's available she's available on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You will find her there. And of course, same goes for me. I'm available on all social media platforms as Stefan Dadjo. Do not hesitate to reach out to us and to give us your insight when it comes to this particular topic. And as a wrap up, Nadege, I would like to thank you for coming online and on air and for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom with us today. And
thank you so much, Stefan, for having me.
Oh, it was all a pleasure. And as final words, I would really like to emphasize on the last words that you shared with us.
You have to pay attention to your intelligent quotient, your emotional quotient, and then your social quotient. Finally, your adversity quotient. There are 4 types of intelligence
Absolutely.
we need to have.
That's great. So, guys, you have to pay attention to all of that. And remember this. Learn to process things as they come. Don't let things just hang in there or around. And that's just that. Well then, guys, like I always say, guys, keep getting out there, keep showing up, keep showing off. And today was Stefan Dadjo in collaboration with Nadege Dadjo, and we look forward to getting your insight on this particular topic. Thank you very much and see you around.
Thank you.
Bye bye.